Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So in this one, I really wanted to ask the question, what would you consider a successful rookie season from Zach Wilson? Now, it's definitely a tough thing to try to quantify, right? I mean, a successful rookie season is kind of just a blanket statement. It can mean a lot of different things, but I've been DMing a lot of Jets fans over the last couple days just to try to gauge and get a feel for what people are not only just expecting, but what they're hoping for, what they would feel good about ending the season with, entering the offseason, kind of having in the back of their head, like, we got our guy, Zach Wilson's going to be here for the next 10 seasons. So right off the bat, I got hit with a lot of stat lines, passing yards in the upper 3,000s, or in some cases 4,000s, 3-to-1 touchdown to INT ratio, a high completion percentage, stuff like that. I mean, whenever you can put together a solid or above average stat line in your rookie season as a quarterback, it bodes well. It pretty much bodes well for the future. Not in every single case, right? We've seen sophomore slumps and whatnot, but I mean, think about Justin Herbert for an example. You talk to, whether it's a Charger fan, it doesn't matter. If you talk to a fan of football and you ask, hey, what are your thoughts on Justin Herbert? Do you think he's going to have a solid year next year? The general response, right, the consensus answer is yes. A major reason why is because Justin Herbert's stats were absolutely mind-blowing. 31 touchdowns, 10 picks in only 15 games. One of the best rookie seasons ever played by a quarterback. All right, another response I got was the eye test, and this one is huge. This one's really important. How does Zach Wilson look? Does he look like the game is way too fast for him? Does he look like a deer in headlights? How's his footwork? Does he have command over the offense? Does he know where to go with the football? If the first read isn't there, will he know how to function, or will he fall apart? It's really important. A good example of this is Deshaun Watson. Early in Watson's career, his rookie season, you just knew, you had a feeling this guy was going to be a franchise quarterback. He just looked like he belonged. Joe Burrow's another guy. A bad example is Daniel Jones, a guy who, he's put up some solid passing yard stats, some solid touchdowns, some rushing yards and rushing touchdowns. But sometimes when you're actually watching the New York Giants play, sometimes he just doesn't pass the eye test. Like the brutal sacks, just the fumbling, it just looks a little different. You don't get that same feeling of franchise quarterback. Let's build the franchise around him for the next 10 seasons. I feel like the eye test is a big part of that. And then I had two responses that said wins. At the end of the day, winning is what matters. Winning is what defines you in this league. Winning is what defines you as a franchise. It doesn't really matter what the stats say. It doesn't really matter how the game, how it looks on Sunday, if you're throwing a couple picks, if you're taking sacks. But if you're winning when it's all said and done, if Zach Wilson manages to win 10 games this upcoming season, that's a win in their book. So this is my personal take on it, okay? This is how I would define a successful rookie season for Zach Wilson. I'm not really putting these number mandates on it, whether it be wins or stats or what have you. For me, I just want to see consistent growth throughout the year for Zach. That's my big thing. And there will be ups and downs. There will be speed bumps along the way, because it's not just like Zach is the only newcomer here and he has the perfect situation. There's a lot of new faces, right? Corey Davis, Keelan Cole, Elijah Moore, a couple guys in the offensive line, a couple running backs, the brand new coaching staff as well. Robert Saleh, Mike LaFleur. Everybody has to deal with a learning curve here. It's not just going to be Zach. So the bottom line is, if Zach Wilson looks better in week 5 than he did in week 1, that's great. That's what we want. We're taking steps in the right direction. If Zach Wilson looks worse in week 10 than he did in week 2, 3, 4, that's almost a little reminiscent of the Sam Darnold under Adam Gase, where it just seems like every week that goes by, it's like you're taking steps backwards. That's a no-go. We cannot have that happen. But we do have to take into consideration who the Jets are playing. I mean, we play some hard games this upcoming year. I mean, the juggernaut Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Buffalo Bills twice, the New Orleans Saints. I mean, we play a lot of really talented football teams, all right? So we have to keep that in mind. We have to keep in mind who Zach Wilson and this Jets offense is taking on a week-to-week basis. But with that said, I just want to see that consistent growth, that linear progression going in the right direction. But if we can walk away from the final game of the season next year with Zach Wilson looking much more polished, much more well-rounded than he did in the first quarter, the first half of the year, that's a win. that's a win for me. That's a W in my book. And we can point to Sam Darnold's rookie season because that's pretty much what happened. There were some ups, there were a lot of downs Sam Darnold's rookie year, obviously getting hurt and everything like that. There was a lot of interceptions, but he finished the season really, really strong. I mean, those games against the Houston Texans and the Green Bay Packers were unbelievable. After those two games, I was convinced Darnold is our guy moving forward. Like, he was able to look like that with barely any help against two solid teams to end the year. Beautiful, but as we all know, major regression took place. But I feel like the major difference between Sam Darnold's situation and Zach Wilson's situation is the fact that Sam Darnold had to start over. He was forced to start over with a brand new coaching staff, a brand new offensive system, and a brand new play caller. So you essentially take what Sam Darnold has been learning and studying his entire rookie season and threw it in the trash and said, we're starting from square one. We're starting from scratch. And if you have a guy at the helm who doesn't know what he's doing in Adam Gase, it's a recipe for disaster. With Zach Wilson, I don't believe we're going to be firing Robert Saleh or firing Mike LaFleur at the end of the year next year, and then Zach Wilson's going to be forced to learn a brand new system, and nothing can be retained from the previous season. So at the end of the day, I just want to see consistent linear growth throughout the year. If he takes a step back a week, if he plays a tough defense, fine, it is what it is. But if he looks like a more polished, a well-rounded quarterback at the end of the season compared to week 2, week 6, week 4, stuff like that, the first half of the year, that is awesome. That is what I'm hoping for. I just want to see things get easier and easier and easier as the season goes on for Zach Wilson. So I'll leave it there. Please let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you consider a successful rookie year for Zach Wilson? I cannot wait to dive into the comment section on this one. Oh man, it's going to be good. I just love hearing other people's takes, right? Because it's not like anybody's right or wrong. It's just, it's at the end of the day, it's all a personal preference, which is flat out awesome. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. And as always, go Jets.